Welcome to Elite Expert Insider Podcast, where we will inspire, motivate, and educate entrepreneurs, innovators, and growth seekers. Brought to you by Elite Online Publishing, making the best and brightest in the industry #1 best-selling authors. 80% of people say they want to write a book. We're assuming that's the same for you. If so, contact us at www.eliteonlinepublishing.com and make your book a reality. Hey, Melanie Johnson here with another great podcast with my business partner, Jen Foster. How are you doing today, Jen?
Hello. Hey, guys.
Well, listen, we want to ask you a question. Is it time for you to create your hell yes life? Hey, for me, the answer is yes. I'm ready. I want to have a hell yes life. I want to live that hell yes life. So we have a life coach on here today who's going to teach us how to do that and make you sexier, happier, more confident, and have more abundance. I think everybody wants that. Sign me up. So first, before we get to all of those great things, we want to remind you to subscribe to this podcast, Elite Expert Insider, so you get notifications of all of these wonderful interviews that we have. So please subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and we'd love to hear from you. Leave us a comment, and importantly, when you learn something wonderful, don't keep it all to yourself. Share this podcast with someone else. If you like it and you learned something, you had an aha moment, or you were inspired or motivated, please share the podcast to other people. So a couple things first, we want to remind you we have our success journals that are out, our success daily planners. We have a couple options here. We've got it all in black. We've got it in white with pink and teal on it. So if you search Elite Online Publishing and look up Success Daily Planners, you will find our awesome daily planners in here where you can set your big giant goals, your daily goals, your today's successes, your workouts, your targets. So check that out. And if you're looking to publish a book and become a #1 bestseller, guess what? We have published over 50 authors and made them #1 on Amazon. And we have over 1,500 of journals and guest books and planners that you can look at as well. So, all right, I know you're waiting. You want that hell yes life. So let's get started. We have Krysta Rogers with us today. Krysta, welcome. Thanks so much for coming.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. I'm so excited to be here. Yeah, thanks, Melanie, Jen. I'm so excited. Planners, those are sexy.
Yeah, get yourself one. They are pretty cute, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, tell us, Krysta, a little bit about your background and kind of how you got into this hell yes life.
So for me, it really was about knowing what my hell no life looked like. I lived it fully, like some of us do. I had
Hey, Krysta, can you talk a little louder, your audio, or get closer for us?
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody can hear all these before you get started, and then they miss a great nugget. So there we go.
Of course. Is that a little better?
Oh yeah, that's better. Thanks.
Yeah, for me, it was, I was divorced, single mom in survival mode, like some of us are. And I worked way too much. I was a slave to my job. I really loved my job, but I was a slave to it. I couldn't figure out my love life to save my life. And it was just my process of figuring that out. And then through that process, I had other people, other women and men come to me and just say, hey, you know what? Like, how do I get more of that? How do I get more joy and abundance in my life? How do I get more confidence? Like, who doesn't want more confidence and more fun and more abundance? And it really was just me learning what steps did I take to transition my whole entire world. Mm-hmm. Now married to the love of my life, and I get to do a job that is beyond my wildest dreams. And we travel all over the world and get to play, and just our life is designed consciously around what our hell yeses are. And like so many people just don't even believe that's possible. And so for me, it really is like just playing in possibilities. My hell yes life is not everybody's. And so it's finding out what your hell yes life is, and then taking the steps towards consciously creating that and playing in possibilities to know that it exists.
That's so true. Yeah. You know, so many people don't plan out their hell yes life. They don't even know what it is. It's like they expect to wake up to it and it's magically going to appear. But unless, or you think you want somebody else's, but you don't know what their whole life is about. And I love that you're saying, oh my gosh, figuring out your love life. All three of us have been single, and it's just, no one taught me how to be. I wish there was a handbook of how to be a single person and don't do this, do that. I've done this. Well, tell us, when we're searching for our hell yes life, so many times we get trapped and we don't know how to do it. But what are some of the biggest obstacles that you feel like people have to overcome first before they can start doing any of the strategies to get there?
Yeah. So of course, the very first step is awareness. Awareness of what do you want, and like what's been getting in the way, what stories and mindsets that we've been telling ourselves that have been getting in the way of that. Most people don't even give themselves permission to really go, what do I want? If it were possible, what would I love to create here? Because we're so in survival mode.
Yeah.
Especially as single moms, okay? Especially when we're in the dating world, we're like, okay, we just get what we get, right? I remember my daughter's or my son's school, they always say, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And I'm like, oh no. That is, so for me, it's about really getting clarity on what do you want? Like if you could design your life any way you wanted to, what would you really truly want? And so the very first thing that I do with all of my clients is we get massive clarity on what do you want in every aspect of your life. Like this is a deep dive into what does your dream life really look like. And the crazy part is I look back on mine 5 years ago and it's 20 times, my life now is 20 times what I even thought I wanted back then. And so it's also an exercise, like it's this muscle that we haven't been really building. We just think, okay, we get what we get and we don't throw a fit. And we try to be happy here, but what if you can actually build your life the way you want it? And it doesn't happen overnight. It's steps and processes, but the first step is really knowing what you want. And then of course, there's the following steps to make sure that you get there. So
I love that. And what you say about designing your life, the way you want, like sometimes we say, like us all being entrepreneurs, it's like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to own my own business. And then you get into the meat of it and you end up figuring out that you have a job, right? Or you spend too much time in front of the computer. So it's like, okay, well, let's take a step back and do what you just said and design, like, how do we want that life to look? And then go forward with those actions, right?
Yeah. Like part of mine is making sure that I have my abundance, but that also my life is designed around things that I really love. So Friday afternoons, I take that off. Me and my husband have our little play date where my daughter's still at school. We get to have our little play fun date because we can't always create that during the rest of the week. And so we purposely schedule our life around those things that are most important. And so
I see that you get taught, about the question about, what do they have to overcome? And it's really, sometimes you get to those steps before you get to the next action item. If it didn't go right, you get stuck in the minutia of it. Yeah. And you get discouraged, and then you lose sight of the plan, or you lose sight of the next step because you're discouraged that the last one didn't work, or you had a bad day and things didn't go your way.
Yeah. So such an important step, which is actually step 2, is really, I have this whole thing around A's because, your A+ hell yes life, right? So the next step is, I call it abolish and annihilate. And I know it's such funny words, but it really resonated with me. And it's abolishing and annihilating the stories that are getting in the way of you having what you want. The story, I don't have the time, or I'm just a single mom, or, oh my gosh, there's no good guys out there to date. Those stories suck. And they don't provide you with the ending that you and the results that you really want to create. And so when you get in the way and you go, okay, let's really dissect those stories. And it really is of course, step 2 is really getting clear on what story have I been telling that's been holding me back? What excuse have I been using to avoid the life I could be choosing?
Mm-hmm. I love that too. And tell us a little bit about, I know you do the one-on-one coaching, you were saying with your coaching clients. Tell us a little about what is it to awaken the goddess? What is that?
So my Awaken the Goddess is my passion project. It really is. So I've been doing one-on-one coaching for, oh my gosh, 17 years now. And, but it was always kind of my side passion project, just something I did on the side of a very successful career. And then about 4 years ago, I started, I'd done groups, I had done one-on-one coaching, but all my one-on-one coaching clients had just come to me. was really, really lucky. It was just through different groups and stuff that I had done. And they're like, oh, well, you know, you've got this down. Let's, you know, how do I learn that? And then after I got married, I'm like, I had so many women reaching out to me going, hey, you know what, how did you do this? How did you, you know, take on your career of your dreams? How did you marry the man of your dreams? Like, how did you do that? And so I really got super clear on, okay, what are all the steps that I did? And then how can I help others to create it? And it's been so much fun, and it works for everything. It's not just for the man of your dreams. It's not just for the business. It works for everything. One of my clients that I am working with right now, she's lost, like, I am not a weight loss coach. I am not. It works for that. She is my second weight loss client, which I have never promoted weight loss, but she's my second weight loss client. But my favorite part is she's lost how much? Like, the last weight check we did, I think she was at 47 pounds down.
Wow.
Right? And my favorite part is not that. It's that she just had her first $10,000 month, or over $10,000 month in her business. And like, this is after 3 months of coaching. And my favorite part is, of course, her marriage. She's been married for going on 20 years, and her marriage has been on the rocks. I remember her having the conversation, oh my gosh, I just want to run away from home. And it was so cute, because just after one session of just flipping things on its head, we deep dive and go, what story am I telling? And how is this serving me? And where's the lie in that story? And so when we get really clear on what those are, like, just from that conversation, she calls me a week later and she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know my marriage could be this good. Like,
all right, let's dive a little deeper into that. Relationships are such a big thing. Divorce is 50% of couples get divorced. So let's talk a little bit about what are some of those things that you should be asking yourself. You touched on it a little bit, but go a little deeper of what we should be asking ourselves and doing and walking through a process that maybe we could do on our own, a little short version of that with our spouse or boyfriend or our relationship, personal relationship.
Yeah, I think so. It goes back to the awareness. Like, what do I want?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you really want? Because we concentrate so much on what isn't working. And you have to be aware what's not working. You have to look at that. But we spend 80% of our time on what's not working and the 20% of our time on what would we really want. When if we flipped that on its head and said, okay, I'm going to spend 80% of my time on concentrating on what do I want? How do I create it? Playing in those games and the questions that really, really open up us for new possibilities. And so, for example, like, first you got to know what you want. And then you got to know, okay, who do I get to be to create that? And so the whole Goddess program was designed around one question. And this question opened up the possibilities of my coaching program now that is now called Awaken the Goddess. And it's a 90-day intensive, like, whatever goal you have that you've been working, it's really about getting massive, massive clarity and then creating a game plan, but playing in your invitation. That beingness of, and the question is, I want you guys to write this down because this one's such a big one. And it opens up the door for so much possibilities. Make sure you get your pen and paper handy.
Yep, I'm writing it right now. I got my pen.
What energy, space, and consciousness I need to be the most delicious, irresistible invitation for everything that I desire?
Okay, say it one more time because everyone's writing it down and they might be driving.
No, yeah.
They can put their phone on voice memo and they can get it recorded.
Yes. So what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to be the most delicious, irresistible invitation to everything I desire? And you can swap out that everything I desire with what you actually desire to be the most delicious, irresistible invitation to the man of my dreams, to be the most delicious, irresistible invitation to the career of my dreams. Whatever it is, you can swap that out. And once you start asking questions like that, it opens the door, because our mind is like Google, okay? And when we put in, you know, what do I need to be an irresistible invitation? Our Google computer starts going, ooh, what could I do today? What could I wear today? What energy can I be in? And then we start to be in a place of being the type of woman that those things come to easily. Those things want. So they want to play in our world. Money wants me. The man of my dreams wants me. Who's now my husband. So, and I'm not going to pretend like my world is Disneyland. Believe me, there's still crappy days. And even when there's crappy days, because to be really candid, this week has been a really hard week and a really heavy week. We were going through something with my daughter. And of course, here's one thing I tell everybody: do not ever hire a coach that does not have a coach. Your coach doesn't even coaching. What the hell? Right. So of course, you know, when I'm going through it, because we all have blind spots, it doesn't matter how much we know. Like, I married an amazing coach. And I thought, oh, you know what? I can take a break. So I let my coach, you know, I was like, you know, we'll take a break. I don't need to sign another 6-month contract right now. And my life, it was amazing how quickly that slippery slide of my own blind spots. And I'm like, I've been doing this 20 years. I help people every day get the life of their dreams, live their hell yes life. And I had blind spots. And so of course, this week I call my coach and I'm like, hey, I need an emergency session. Like, I'm not concentrating on what I want. I am stuck in this muck of what's going on right now, of the situation and the circumstance, instead of what I want to create here. And that's what happens. We spend so much of our time, again, that 80% of our time, stuck on the things that aren't working, instead of going, what can I do to create what I really want here? So, yeah.
You know what I love about that too? I mean, I've heard the theory of, and Jen, you probably have too, about, you know, write down the man of your dreams, but then you ask yourself, who do I have to be to attract that man?
Yeah.
But I've never heard it with all of your goals. Like, you know, I want to sell $1 million of whatever product or service you have. Well, who do you have to be able to attract those type of clients?
Yeah.
You know, you have to become an expert in your field. You have to, you know, like you say, if you want to be $1 million real estate agent, well, you better dress like $1 million real estate agent. I never really heard it that way. You know, apply it to every single thing. Who do you have to show up to be able to be that person and get those things?
Yeah. The state of being is the most important thing. Everything else comes easy. When we're in that state of being, those answers get downloaded like crazy. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing that I love about my Goddess program. It's a group program. It includes one-on-one on my, like, it has 2 different tiers so that we can really help everyone. And this one's specifically for women. I have one-on-one that I do with men. I've helped, it's really crazy because you guys are amazing at what you do. I had a guy that I worked with that was launching his first book, and I'm like, and it's really funny because I get to check in on my stuff and I get to go, okay, you know what? I've never done that before. And does what works here work everywhere? And so these steps, I've used them to do the same thing as you guys, is launch a book. And you guys have mastered that. Like, I fell into it just using those same keys and steps. And it's so crazy how much they translate to everything. It translates to your love life. It translates to your business. It translates to your weight loss. Like, the same steps that work in any one of those arenas work in all of those arenas once you know what they are. Yeah. And so, like I said, the first step is getting super clear. Second step, like, you've got to know what you want. So again, like, I wrote the list, 6 pages of the man of my dreams, 6 pages. And it's so crazy because 3 separate times in my world, I've written this list, I've revised this list, and within days, that man appeared. That man on that list. The very first time I wrote it, I forgot a couple things. I wrote that he'd be an amazing father, and at the time, I knew I wanted more children. I didn't write that he'd want more children. I wrote that he would be an amazing partner, but I didn't write that he'd want to get married. And I didn't write, you know, you also get to check in and go, oh, wait. And that's part of the steps, is going through and checking. And is the roadmap that I'm on getting to me to where I want to go? Mm. So to check in and assess and adapt to where oh, wow, this is crap right now. That's not going to get me there. Because I manifested this amazing man who's still one of my best friends. And this was about 10 years ago that I did my first list. Actually, over 10, it's 12 years now. Crazy. And he, it was so cute. Like 2 days later, he appeared. Even to the, like, I wrote down height and what he would drive, like just as a, throw it on the list. Just, you know, is the universe really showing me what I want here? And of course, 2 days later, he shows up in his black Range Rover, you know, just every single thing that I wrote down. And the one thing that I wrote down that we'd have this amazing connection, but I didn't write down that I'd want to rip off his clothes. And you heard me right. I didn't write down that I'd want to rip off his clothes. And there was, even as an amazing man he was, there wasn't that amazing connection that I want to have with my partner. And thank goodness me and my husband do share. And so that first list, it was so crazy, but just getting clearer. And then my next list, I knew that there was, again, some edits. And my third list is my husband. And so the most important part of that, and this is the, women write lists every single day, right? We write down what we want. But the most important part that we forget is being in that energy, being in that place of knowing that it's coming to you. Mm-hmm. If you can't be there yet, one of my favorite questions, again, a good one to write down, is what is to play in that energy of, oh my gosh, how cool would it be if I totally believed he could? Mm-hmm. Or wouldn't it be nice if? Wouldn't it be nice if he just showed up with ease? Wouldn't it be nice if this business that I make, and to play in that energy so we can step up our energy level. I don't know if you've heard of power versus force and the different.
Explain it to everybody. That would be great, because a lot of people aren't in tune with that. So that'd be a great little learning experience.
Yeah. So power versus force is a really, really good one. The one that I follow a lot is, I love Esther Hicks. If you don't know who she is, oh my gosh, YouTube this woman. She gives away so much of her content for free. But Esther Hicks talks about the different energy levels. And if you've seen The Secret, you've seen like that these are the positive energy levels and the negative energy levels, but everything vibrates at a different energy. They're like joy and passion, and like these are all up on your upper energy levels. And then there's your lower ones like guilt and shame, and these are your real low levels. And what they talk about so much is just slowly taking that up the scale. And so sometimes it's really hard when we're in when our believability scale, this is one thing I say, when we write down everything we want, we get to check in on our believability scale. We get to go, okay, how much do you believe that right now? And if somebody goes, wow, I believe that like a 1 out of 10, then I go, okay, so let's go a little bit lighter. So we can't jump from here to here. Pull it on my hair. Can't jump from here to here, but what we can do is from here to here, which, okay, wouldn't it be nice if a guy like that existed? Wouldn't it be nice if people out there, if that job that you would really love was out there? Wouldn't it be nice if? And so you just play with like something that just makes it a little bit lighter and expands our door just a little bit, because right now we're right here and we're like, oh, I don't believe in that at all. I'm in single mom and I barely had enough to pay the bills, nevertheless a coach or anything else, you know, like, and I'm only dating jerk guys and I have a job that I hate and I'm in sure survival, right? Because I've been there. And to go from that to, you could travel all over the world and have your dream life? No way did I ever believe that. So steps, and you go, okay, what can I believe? I can believe that I could be an assistant at my work right now that could make it so much lighter and so much better. Oh, I can believe that. I can believe that I could hire the person that could support me really good. Oh, I believe that I could go on dates that might be fun. So what can you believe? And slowly you step up the scale until all of a sudden your life is unrecognizable. So, yeah.
That's great. Well, it sounds like you have some great programs, and I just love your Awaken the Goddess. And I'm sure your one-on-one coaching is great too. So tell everyone where they can go to find you and to get more information.
Yeah. So if it's something that you're really, really interested in, if you're ready for a huge life change, you just don't know what the steps are. But only if you're really ready. Like if you're ready to really take this forward, then I am offering consultation calls. So you can go to my website, KrystaRogers.com, and let me spell that for you because my mama didn't know how to spell. And so it's Krysta, and Rogers is ROGERS.com. And you can actually go up to my tab that says Coach with Me, and down at the bottom there's a consultation for one-on-one, or if you're interested in Awaken the Goddess. Or if you just want to set up a 15-minute call to just hear more about the programs, go ahead and set a time there. It connects you directly to my calendar so you can find a time that's perfect for you. Yeah.
Terrific. Thank you so much for coming. I learned a lot. I got some good notes here. I'm scribbling on my Elite Journal planner because that's what I had in my hand. So I'm writing all those good things down. And you know, one of my big takeaways is that you can want something, but if you don't believe that you deserve it, then it's hard, you know, that could be the roadblock. So you might say, you know, I want to make $1 million, or I want that man of my dreams. But if you're not believing it in your heart, it was such an aha moment for me. It's like, oh, well, I really only believe I deserve it, or I could get it maybe a 2. Well, you know, there's definitely a roadblock there. That was great information. So again, we bring you the best podcast here with the coolest people. So come and make sure you watch us again. Make sure you subscribe. Krysta Rogers, thanks for coming by. And you can have that hell yes life. Listen to what she said. And if you need a great coach, you can sign up for her. So also maybe you can get your success planner, because part of that is writing your goals down and what you want every day and the action items to get there. And it's great to journal them and write them down. So we have some awesome different covers. Check them out on Elite Online Publishing. If you would like to become a #1 best-selling author and become your own brand and expert and authority, raise your prices, be a consultant, be a coach because of your book, please contact us and submit your survey to us, and we'll see if you qualify to be a best-selling author. We'll catch you next time right here. You can find us at EliteOnlinePublishing.com and catch us at the Elite Expert Podcast, and you can get us on Alexa. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
If you'd like to create the most powerful advertising tool for your business, contact us at EliteOnlinePublishing.com, where we will help you create, publish, and make your book a #1 bestseller, and show you how to get new leads and more revenue for your business. If you'd like to check us out on our Facebook page, we have a free book for you as our gift. Just go and click Free Book. Remember to subscribe and leave a comment for our podcast. We would love to hear from you.